Yeah, so. Yeah. I was appalled by that.
What is this?
That looks like a TV there.
I know.
Very good. Go to
Remember learning periodic table?
Yeah.
They weren't, these aren't going periodic table. I don't know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think just steady, not.
Have you ever heard of that? I've heard of it, but it's not on periodic table. How about rhodium?
Well, we did have 140.
Rhodium?
Okay, yeah, that's what it was, right? Yeah. And
Where
Monday,
did they
you
put
know.
the periodic table on?
Yeah, Monday,
Why would I think that, right? Because I was thinking about whatever you do, you put the periodic table.
But there are some engineered elements that are appear. You know, stick them on.
I would say it's probably.
Yeah. I think it was that palladium too.
JT.
Well, the easiest source of palladium is to get it out of gold teeth.
There you go.
They use a lot of
How do you
palladium.
know that, Mr. Corn Chop owner?
Yeah. Holding them down.
Yeah, we just one of those things that you deal with, and
Somebody been putting it.
palladium is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I'm not interested in your city player, but I noticed you got some palladium.
Yeah. We're just teasing.
The old people
Oh, I didn't know that.
generally pull out their teeth before they bury them, because there might be $1,000, $2,000 worth in their mouth,
Yeah.
and they don't need them anymore.
It's in Ukraine, there would be a lot of like gold incisors. I mean, they're love to be all gold. They're smart to be all gold. No, it's just, I mean, they don't, I think it's more effective. And so even the incisors.
Right,
But as an exotic metal, it's already been extracted, so it's easy to separate out
Yeah.
from the copper and the gold and the palladium.
Well, back to
Okay, yeah, it would.
Well, I'm
I'll
not.
see you there.
We ready? Okay, it is 9 a.m. I'm going to call the meeting of the Coddington County Board of Commissioners to order. It is Tuesday, October 18th, 2022. We'll start with Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Van Duzen, would you lead us today?
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item number 2, I guess first I'll mention if you have a cell phone, if you could silence it, and if you need to take a call, step out onto the rotunda, and we are streaming live on YouTube. Item number 2, call for public comment. These are items that are not on the agenda for information only. The 2 phone numbers that we will still allow individuals to call in are 605-882-6248 or 605-882-6297, and we will address those during the open part of our meeting. Item number 3, conflict of interest items. Are there any on the agenda for fellow commissioners?
Nope.
Okay. Item number 4, action to approve the October 18th, 2022 agenda.
So
Motion by Gable,
second.
second by Waterman. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, that motion carries. Item number 5, action to approve the October 11th, 2022 minutes of the Codington County Board
So
of
moved.
Commissioners. Motion by
I'll
Van
second.
Duzen, second by Gable. Any additions or corrections Not hearing any, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that motion carries. Monthly reports is Highway Superintendent. Believe that was included in the packet. So I don't know if anybody has anything they want to add to that in relation to it, or we will move on then to item number 7. Action to accept a proposal for rumble strip improvements on 19th Street.
This is the one for the rumble strips.
Yes, that was
Yeah,
brought to our
this-
attention. That's right. If you go ahead.
Yeah, just to give you an update on the 19th Street project, it is, has been completed. I had a discussion with Rick yesterday. The shoulder work is finished on 19th Street. This would be the final step in completing that project. And this is just, I guess it says stabilized full depth reclamation of those rumble strips along 19th Street. I drove up there again this week and looked at them, and they're still real deep and real heavy. And so as you are aware, commissioners, that we did receive a couple of complaints from some property owners along there who have to live with the noise of traffic going across those rumble strips. So they would like them to be redone. And so that's what this item is for.
I'll make a motion to approve.
And I'd second it.
Motion by Gable, second by Waterman. Any other comments or questions?
The only comment I would have you taken any time to look at the quote that they got?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't think this is gonna be the end the way it looks. They kind of left it pretty much open-ended.
And it seemed pretty low.
I think, if you read the fine print there under the notes, you'll see that the quote does not include sealing of the
Rumble strip.
rumble strips, and then a quote is an estimate of time. It will be adjusted accordingly, and you know they're not gonna adjust it down. So just a heads up.
Yeah.
It does have on the mobilization machine and 2 people, so I guess.
But is it just making the grooves shallow or something?
I
Or is
think,
it moving-
you know,
moving their
I
location?
don't know the process involved with this, Commissioner Gable. I don't know if they come in and shave them down so that they're not, the strips themselves are about a 1/2 inch tall and about a foot apart. So as you go across it, it's like you're hitting,
Yeah.
you're hitting all that,
Yeah.
as you can imagine. So I don't know if they come in and shave them down or if they just
Like edge
blade them off or edge
yeah.
them
That's
off
just
or what they do, but
Curiosity question.
um,
Yeah.
So they know their business.
Yeah.
so,
yeah. So,
Sometimes they've
Anyway.
added, in the past, they've added an extra bump in between.
okay. Okay,
So you get, it's more of your ride over it, but you still are aware of it.
right.
But
So
different
anyway.
companies have different ideas.
I know that the homeowners along there will be very appreciative to take action on this.
All
Okay.
right, so I have a motion and a second. Are we ready to vote? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, item number 8, action to move the November 8th Commissioners meeting to November 10th. That would be Thursday because November 8th is election day and it will be crazy.
Correct, and you will have to canvass the votes on November 10th.
I'll make a motion. Oh, I'll second.
Motion by Johnson, second by Gable. Any other comments, questions? Not hearing any, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that motion carries. Item number 9, action to authorize chair to sign a lease termination agreement for Girl Scout property located at Memorial Park. I received an email from Steve this morning. This will have to be put on. They're still in the works of trying to get that quick claim deed drawn up and finalized. So nothing on that. So we will move that to next week.
That's another week. How many years has it been in the coming?
Yep. It's just getting attorneys together and getting all those details taken care of. All right, item number 10, action to approve contract for consultation services for Coddington County Social Service Strategic Planning, and that would be Sarah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Sure.
There now it is.
Good morning, Andrew.
Okay, so this is a request. You have the contract in front of you to, that I can do some contracting with Angela Hyde to assist with the strategic planning pieces that we've been doing. We did receive confirmation on Friday that we have received the funding from South Dakota Housing Authority for the short-term emergency non-congregate shelter, which is going to be pretty time intensive. We have to establish that nonprofit and then get the property purchased and get all of those pieces in place with that. So that's going to be pretty time intensive in addition to the strategic planning pieces, which were already taking a lot of my time as far as leading the meetings and running the meetings. Like I said last week, I love the opportunity to do all of the things that I'm doing. It's just stretching me pretty thin, and I feel like I'm juggling a lot of balls and things are going to start dropping if I don't get some help with some things. And so
What is Angela's background? I know her, but how do I know her?
well, she actually worked for the county. She was an assistant in the welfare office a few years back. I'm not sure what her degree is, but she's currently works with NAMI on a consulting contract with them. She's teaching adjunct teaching at Lake Area Tech. So Angela is a really good fit because she's familiar with our office in the county itself, but she's also well established in the community and has a history of program development and doing things. She's developed some programs in Sioux Falls and has a history of doing all of that really effectively. So we're actually fortunate to have her here in Watertown.
Yeah, she's a very capable individual. Has worked with grant writing and that sort of endeavors as well.
So I'd make a motion to approve this consultant agreement.
Second motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. So the hope is going forward, this will be funded in the future with grants.
Yeah.
It's just to get this initially going.
Get
Yes,
fired up.
because
Right.
we don't
So-
want to have to continue to support it. It will-
So this current one, just so people know, it's just for this fall, so
Mhm.
October
Yep.
to the end of the year.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
tomorrow to the end of the year, and
Mhm.
then the rate is $50 an hour, not
Yeah.
to exceed $40 per month.
10 hours per week or 40 per month.
Yeah, it's very minimal time, but
Mhm. Yeah, and will come out of my, the professional services line item, which we still have funds in there with that too. So yeah, then we're waiting to hear on the grant from the South Dakota Housing or South Dakota Community Foundation that they would be able to continue funding that support in the future. I wanted to mention too, just real quick, I know there's been some,
Probably should take
Yeah.
a vote.
before we go into that,
okay,
You haven't voted, they haven't voted.
Yep.
I was gonna mention about the funding. The
okay,
the
then in
financial.
relation to
Okay.
this.
It is in relation
Okay,
to this.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, no, it was just that there's been some gotten some feedback about the expenses in our office and that we've increased expenses. And I just wanted to point out that we have received between the South Dakota Housing Authority and the Community Health Worker Grant, that those amounts have been an income into the county for $78,554. They don't reflect in my budget because it goes back into the general account, but it is funds that are coming in from the work that our office is
But
doing
it's
with
to
that.
offset expense.
Yes, it offsets expenses that are in our, yes,
It's not money we're getting.
no,
Extra.
but it doesn't,
Okay,
yeah, no, but it
All
doesn't
right.
reflect.
Not going
When you
into the
say it
big
goes into
kitty.
the General fund. I
No,
have to-
but yes,
Yeah, okay.
no,
right.
yeah, but no, but it
Yes.
doesn't reflect out of my budget
Right.
Right,
Yes,
with
yes,
that,
yes.
that,
Okay,
it doesn't offset my budget is what I'm saying.
it's pass through money basically to compensate for
My
the expenses that are
yes.
coming out of your
Yeah.
budget.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, but yeah, there has been money coming in as well, not just going out.
All right, any other comments, questions? Not hearing any, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that motion carries. All right.
That's it.
That's it for
Perfect.
today.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You
Thank
too.
you.
See ya.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 11, discussion possible action to enact burn ban resolution. Good morning, Andrew.
Morning, how are you all?
Good, how about you?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Good.
So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty dry out there. I kind of talked to, I talked to each of the local fire departments about what their thoughts were on possibly enacting a burn ban just due to the conditions. Really, last week was probably the most critical as far as, super high winds and still a lot of crops in, but I mean, with the way the week falls, I mean, it's kind of tough to predict a week ahead of time that we're gonna have those type of conditions. So we are still in like abnormally dry conditions through the majority of the county. Again, we still have that small little sliver, northwestern corner of the county that is D1 right now. Making some pretty good progress. I mean, farmers as far as getting stuff out of the fields. So it's starting to improve that way as far as having fewer fuels out there, you know, for stuff to get away. For this upcoming week, by the weekend, we'll have highs like, touching about 70 throughout most of the week. Winds will stay mid-20s or lower. So that's not as bad. And then Sunday, there's 20% chance of rain. Sunday night and Monday, we both have 50% chance of rain, according to the National Weather Service. So I guess with the fire chiefs, a lot of the discussion, I guess, like most of them were hesitant to request a burn ban, but about half weren't necessarily opposed to it. I guess the discussion geared around like most of the fires that have been responded to so far this year have been, you know, a result of accidents. So like, you know, like the power line and, you know, just different things that aren't intentionally started. It's not like a controlled burn type of scenario. The fire chiefs are confident that the farmers that are out there understand like what the conditions are and they're taking adequate precautions. I also talked to the counties around us. Day has a standing burn ban, I guess as part of their ordinance. It's just permit only, like as far as any of their burns. But I mean, Grant, Dual, Hamlin, Clark, none of them currently have burn bans. So at this time, I don't think that it's necessary. I would propose keeping it on the calendar, like especially with, you know, wind conditions this week. I mean, they're not as critical as they were, you know, like last week. And we can possibly revisit it next week and see if we get any precipitation in the meantime.
I agree with that, because I guess the key word is most of these burns that have happened were not intentional, sort of people being out there recklessly burning things off and getting
No.
away. It's been by accidental.
We've still been notified about a lot of controlled burns that people are burning, trying to burn stuff off. But to my knowledge, we haven't had any,
Right.
with the exception of a couple, maybe small ones that were a result of farm machinery or whatever, starting a fire.
Sure. Well, and then too, if there's stuff that doesn't get a chance to get burned off now, like, are we just creating a problem for the spring?
Yeah.
Is kind of the other
Yeah.
question. So.
I would, as in the past, though, encourage the farmers, and they're good about this, keeping one of the tractors hooked up to a disc or some kind of tillage equipment so that they could maybe help the neighbor or help themselves. I know some of them even have a tank of water out there. And I do know that there's a couple of farmers I do know that shut the harvest down, which is surprising to me, for fear that there might be a spark or something from the combine and start a fire. And so they're being very careful, very cautious, which I'm glad to hear.
One of the local fire chiefs said that like there's some insurance companies that aren't like insuring, you know, accidents that occur during red flag warnings. And
Yeah.
like that, I have heard of a handful of people that have said that people shut down their harvest operations during the red flag days. So
Yeah.
I wonder if that has something to do with it.
So that's good. They're watching that. Also, you know, if they are going to do a controlled burn, they are required or should be calling those in to dispatch. Is that correct, Troy?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. That number is 605-882-6210. Just to make us aware of it, we put it into our CAD system so we don't have the fire trucks respond if somebody drives by and sees it.
Yeah,
So
because you do get those individuals who call and say they see smoke in the air, and if it's not called in, it's something that needs to
we
be
assume
looked
it's a
into.
fire. Yeah,
Yep.
a real fire. So,
So,
I mean,
all
Some
right,
of those drag volunteers away from their jobs and stuff. So, yeah.
for
exactly.
sure.
All right, well,
you.
we'll just keep it on the agenda then for next week and monitor it for a few weeks here, and hopefully then we'll just be done with that for the year.
Sounds great. Thank
Thanks,
you much.
Andy.
All right, thanks. Item number 12, action to approve claims for payment.
Nothing today.
About 13 automatic budget supplements.
We have one, and it is the ERA2 rent and utilities money. And we need to supplement the welfare budget in the amount of $36,950.71. We did receive grant funds to make these rent and utility payments for clients.
Make that motion to approve.
Motion by Van Duzen.
Second.
Second by Gable. Any other comments, questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. Item number 14, action to approve personnel changes
Nothing today.
and travel requests.
The travel request was submitted by the highway superintendent, and it's kind of after the fact. He did not realize that he had not submitted this travel request. It was for the office manager and the deputy superintendent to attend a FEMA training, which was held in Brookings on October 6th.
So I look for a motion to approve
So
that
moved.
travel request. Motion by Waterman, second by Gable. Any other comments, questions? Not hearing any. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, that motion carries. Public notices, possible quorum of commissioners could be at attendance. There's one that I would mention, and that's the Watertown Development Company's annual
Investor.
annual meeting. Yes, and that is Thursday night, the 20th at 4:30 PM. So there could be a possible quorum of commissioners at that.
There's also, Madam Chair, a ribbon cutting tomorrow at the Boys and Girls Club on their addition or new remodel for, it has to do with the diversion program. So
Yep.
it's at, I want to say noon tomorrow.
11:30, right?
Let me see what I got here.
There's a 911 board meeting on Thursday.
Yeah, 11:30, you're right.
Also Monday night, the reverse raffle, Republican reverse raffle. There could be a quorum of commissioners at that and possibly a legislative banquet up in Webster. Those are some items we should also mention. Anyone else have anything? All right. Item number 17, old business. Is there any? How about new business? Anything for the open? Natalie, do we have a need for exec? All right, well,
Oh,
Wow.
anyone ready to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Johnson,
I think that's a new record.
Second.
second by Gable. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries.